Hello everyone and welcome to Minneapolis St. Paul. A very special thanks goes out to Just Flight for providing a copy of the Flight Replicas DC-4 for us to take a look at today.
63, climb maintain 13 down.
13,000, Tempo 63.
63, contact the New York Center 128.3.
28-3, Tempo 63, good day. Hello, Captain.
We've got all sorts of very unique liveries, and unfortunately don't have the time to go over each and every one of them, but I do invite you to the website to have a peek. But for our first impression purposes tonight, we'll be taking a look at this gorgeous American Airlines livery. Let's make our way over to the plane. So in sitting state, you'll actually find that we've got some really neat accessories. We've got crew stairs and we've got passenger stairs. These are part of the Just Flight Replicas DC-4 package, and it is a feature that you trigger from the inside. It's not automatic to when you set the parking brakes. We've also got the, I don't know, I'm going to call it a kickstand. I'm going to call it a kickstand. Classic American Airlines livery. I actually have a tin vintage toy of this exact plane in this exact livery, and it's absolutely stunning. Unfortunately, no camera from me tonight. So one of the things I noticed on the outside as we have a look around is that in the sun these textures really shine. You really get the feel for this being a bare metal aircraft the way that it was. You see the gorgeous reflections that really give you that feel of metal on the outside. And if you look at the tail real close, you'll see some of the fancy work there. There you are. Oh yes, this is for our arrival, FYI. We just finished a live stream over at twitch.tv/theskylounge using this plane. And had fireworks for our arrival here at Minneapolis St. Paul, one of the airports that American eventually did open up routes to. So on the textures, as beautiful as they are in the sunlight, I wish I could say the same for when we are in the shadows. I'll take us over to the other side now, and we'll have a peek at what I mean. I feel like we lose some of the luster, some of the magic when we're in the dark. Having a walk around, it almost looks like it's painted and doesn't really have that little something, that gives us a convincing metal texture. Now, if this is a side effect of having textures that look this beautiful in the sun, well, I'll take that trade-off, no problem. Because this is absolutely gorgeous in the sun. Some wonderful detail work in the engines. Cowl flaps that actually open as well and display properly. Just about every rivet that needs to be convincing is. Highly rated external appearance. You'll know if you do watch the Unapproached podcast that I'm very visually driven. Yeah, for me it's all about the sky candy, and this has it by the bucket loads on the external model. Just going into a proper cinematic mode here, you really get a feel for this aircraft. Absolutely stunning. So let's go inside. I do have some feedback on the inside texture work. Fairly standard just flight replicas texture work here. Beautiful engineering station. Just about nothing here is functional, but there are some really cool little things like the detail work in the lamp. I do believe that lamp does work. If you look over to the right, you actually see a few gauges up here as well. These are functional in flight. They are absolutely functional in flight. Now keep in mind there are 9 different virtual cockpits for this plane. So you've got a broad selection. This one is very much era appropriate, where there are some variants that feature a GPS unit right up here on the dashboard. Speaking of the dashboard, there are some hidden things. Those air stairs, for example, are triggered by hovering over these hotspots here. If you hover over the air vents, you can hide the yoke. For those of you out there with some heavy hitting hardware and big screens, hide the yoke. And now to some not so great news. I'm not a fan of whatever tech is being used on the knobs, and I'll tell you why. I will pull up the time preview here, and we'll take the sun away from a direct shine, and we're left with this. So these are pretty much these solid colored, I just like to call them dots, with no real feel for a third dimension. They're just, well, they're red dots and blue dots and white dots and black dots. But if we bring the sun into play at just the right angles, they come alive. And I love that. I feel like this is what we should feel all of the time. Hiding that away, taking a look at some of the detail work inside. Stunning layout. Really, really nice. Although some of the details here in these textures, I feel by now should be of a much higher quality. We are now in the era of a 64-bit simulator and don't have to worry too much about texture qualities. Crank them up. It's time. This is essentially a texture file. They shouldn't need to be compressed that much. We can handle it. No problem. Feed us the HD stuff already. Some other little quirks inside. You'll notice here that wherever we have a lever, there's a nice cutout down below it, right? It needs a place to move. But if we look down below, something very interesting happened. Let's look at this set. Where's the flap lever? Do you see it? If we line it up here, it's even harder, as this looks like a button or a knob that's mounted to that panel. But wait, that is our flap lever. If you look here on the landing gear, you'll note that it is blackened out inside, giving you that feeling of a slot. However, that didn't quite happen here. Zooming in, we can see that there actually is a cutout there. It's just not defined as it is here, for example. The same thing occurs over with the mixture, making it incredibly hard to really distinguish anything from up here with a quick browse down. Especially the flaps, which is kind of important. I do think that's something that's quickly fixable. It shouldn't be a big deal at all. But overall, an absolutely beautiful aircraft. Absolutely beautiful aircraft. Some other nice detail work. Douglas Aircraft Company placard, Chicago, Illinois. The Model C-54 badge, which was the military variant of this plane. Nice. Let's talk sounds. We'll start up the engine inside, and then we will do the same outside. Here we go. Undeniably beautiful sounds. Undeniably beautiful sounds. Showing off that cowl flap position. And a shutdown from the inside. How about some rev up? Now for a shutdown. Wow. Really doing a great job of making you feel this plane. Stepping back outside, we'll do the same thing. I think this is a good safe spot, don't you? Here we go. And now some fuel. now is shut down. Now we'll show off that beautiful stereo sound in cinematic mode. Here we go. And some night lighting.
SkyWest 4761, hold short, runway 12, left. Hold short, runway 12.
Really nice soft lighting.
4761. SkyWest 4761, line up, wait, runway 12, left. Position and hold, SkyWest 4761.
SkyWest 739er is 29er miles north, inbound visual, runway 17, approach.
SkyWest 739er, Minneapolis Tower, continued approach, runway 17, altimeter 3009er.
Make straight in, runway 17, SkyWest 739er.
Minneapolis Tower, Delta 1479er, best 9er, miles north, inbound visual, runway 17, approach. Delta 1589er, contact Minneapolis, departure on 126.5. Delta 1479er, Minneapolis Tower, continued runway.
All right, let's take it to the skies, shall we? From the outside, absolutely majestic. Really couldn't ask for more. Especially when the sun is shining. She's a work of art. Just having a look at some of the details. very special thank you to our friends at Just Flight for this opportunity to take a look at the Flight Replicas DC-4. If you'd like to see more of this plane in action, feel free to follow us at twitch.tv/theskylounge, as we are always introducing more and more variety into our shows. You'll never catch us flying the same thing for weeks on end. Very excited to have this in the hangar, and very excited to do some more flights in it. Hope you enjoyed, and I hope I gave you enough sky candy to make up your mind. Of course, everything I've shared is just my opinion. And like I said, I think a service pack can solve the issues that I pointed out. I'm not really a systems guy, so I'm not going to dive in too much on, oh, well, this doesn't work, right? I'm so much more a visuals guy. Until next time, everyone, thank you for watching. This is your host, OMGEDSON, for the SkyLounge.tv. Sky 5.
63, climb maintain 13 down.
13,000, Tempo 63.
63, contact the New York Center 128.3.
28, 3, Tempo 63, good day.